Come on, baby. I'm faded. Feeling X-rated.
Banging.
Faded
Is it
and
only us? Is it only us? I just want to make
X-rated.
sure.
We gotta put some bread to get Smokey Robinson to do an intro song for us, just like that, bro.
Hey, is it only us? I just want to make sure before I do the intro.
Smoking that smoke.
I think Ty is coming a little late. Scrap.
Scrap
You know,
coming?
He at CrossFit right now, or should be on his way back. But he'll join in if he
You might
gets.
be late. Morris.
No, I know why you would ask that.
Yeah, this nigga's crazy.
All right, ready? I'm about to do it. 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead and do it to him.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Faded and X-Rated. You feel me? We got everybody on here, but we do got my dog Day. Say what up to the people.
What's up, guys?
We got my dog Kip, aka the Wizard, Kelly. We got my dog Bobby too, and we got my dog Nazi.
Hello to the beautiful people out there.
They got here serenading people already. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into it. You know, I'm a little drunk right now, so I'm gonna just let y'all know.
Are you drunk this week?
Sipping on that yak.
Since I ain't home, I ain't got my tree to smoke on, so I gotta
you.
drink on this alcohol.
All right.
So let's get started into this. What's the first topic?
Kip, swing us off, Kip.
Oh, I was doing. Oh, my fault. I'm the D head person today. My fault. Let's go ahead and get into things. Let me go ahead and pull up my little itinerary. So
check my Palm Pilot.
Check my Palm Pilot on. Check my BlackBerry on my Drake shit like I'm freestyling the booth. But let's get started into this week's topics right now. So we're starting the second games of round 1 of the playoffs. So we want to go ahead and start with what we saw in the first game of the playoffs back in the bubble for the NBA. What are you guys seeing out there, and how do you guys feel about the NBA and where it is right now?
That's a good question. The first games of the round 1 of the playoffs were very, unexpected. So you had both the number 1 seeds losing. You had Milwaukee Bucks losing bad to the Magic. And then you had the Lakers losing to Portland. So, I think because of the bubble, you know what I mean, people, they got too comfortable. They didn't really have anything to like fight for in the bubble because they were already pretty much clinched the first seed. So I don't know if that like prevented those number 1 seeds from getting back in the groove of things with like their chemistry or whatnot, but especially in Milwaukee, game 1, their chemistry didn't look too well. They definitely flipped the script now because they smoking the Magic boots, 64-43 right now. So, maybe they just slept on them too much and it was too late for them to recover. But they are doing what they got to do now. We'll see how the Lakers perform against Portland tonight. I still think Portland is still going to give them a run because they have a better. I think they have a better overall team than the Lakers do right now. Their active roster. Like if the Lakers had Avery Bradley and John Rondo, it would be a different story. But they are playing without those two players. So we'll see how the series turn out and see how these other games turn out as well.
Okay. Moving on. So who's up next? Who got this?
Man, you know how I feel about ball as a whole, man. I feel
Hey,
like
yo.
this whole
Hey, yo. Like ball as a whole.
I got a ball as a whole that you could take.
Listen, I'm tired of y'all and this whole pausing shit because y'all some homophobes and y'all been doing
Whoa. Let's not do that now.
Listen,
This guy's crazy.
Y'all out here be suspect. I said ball, and we talking about basketball. So ain't no need for
there we go.
Ain't no need for the whoa.
I don't like this. I don't like this drinking X right here. I don't like this guy.
Right, nigga think he passed Detroit. Boy, if you don't sit your boy, if you don't, it's crazy.
Like I was saying, bro, I think this whole bubble idea, like I said, is a great idea because it's real basketball. It's no crowds to affect nobody. It's just ball. It's just playing basketball at this point, and you kind of see this in the games and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of players that are showing out that wasn't showing out before. Like Kuzma was playing like well in clutch moments in the game against Portland. Like Kuzma was doing work, and I think What's cuz name? TJ Warren was. I mean, been playing pretty well for the. And,
He
but,
been on straps since he been playing against
yeah,
Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah, he not playing no games.
All right. Well,
But like,
any in the comments on that? Go ahead. Continue, X.
what? Jimmy Buckets?
No, you talking about your analysis. What you seen? I'm not seeing any more comments on that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I think the playoff games. I'm excited about these playoff games. I think honestly, the whole Portland Laker thing. Everybody was shocked. I was shocked about the Magics, but I wasn't too shocked about the Portland game because Portland, man, they got hoopers on their team, bro. They got scorers. They have people who can score at any point and at any moment, and they got more of them than the Lakers got at this point right now. So I think it's going to be a good series with them.
That's definitely a fact.
That's a fact. Well, for me, my input on this whole playoff first game analysis would probably have to be as far as the Magics and the Bucks. I feel like the Magics wanted it more the first game than the Bucks. I felt like the Bucks should have dominated them, to be honest, but the underdog kind of was the superior in that game. And as far as the Portland Lakers, I said Portland Lakers. Portland Trailblazers, Blazers and the Lakers. That was a good ass game. I watched it down to the very last second. Dame just clocked in, and it was Dame time at the last, I want to say, 3 minutes of that game. Once he started pulling from half court, they couldn't contest to it. Easy pick and roll. He'll find a spot, dagger, and then LeBron. He had about 20-something points. They say he wasn't really aggressive enough that game. LeBron not being aggressive is kind of like not normal. So, and KCP had 1 point. KCP had 1 point, and Danny Green.
Yeah.
Danny Green was very off at the 3-point line, and it was like a very and also Melo showed out too. So, well, he didn't show out. He came in clutch. Let me rephrase that. He came in clutch. But yeah, I feel like. Go ahead.
My question.
How you talk twice? How do you talk twice?
I got a question. I just got a question for y'all as a group, right?
Talk twice, nigga.
It's a question. I can't have no question. Damn.
Everybody getting an answer. Wait to the end.
Why you do this?
Why are you running?
Jeez, man. All right, this is all I want to know. So nobody gonna talk about LeBron and AD missing the free throws late in the game? Like that wasn't like
I mean, LeBron has always been bad at the line. Well, as of recent, like the last 2-3 years, his free throw percentage has been really sus. So I'm not surprised by that at all. AD, that's different, but you can't expect them. Even fatigue. You gotta say the same thing about Dame. Dame got ridiculed for it, but look what he did since he got ridiculed about them free throws. Now you would hope the same thing would happen for LeBron and AD, that they start turning up like Dame did, but maybe they don't got that in them. I don't know.
I just hate how everybody always is blaming KCP. Like, yeah, he had 1 point. I understand this man had 1 point. But Kuzma came off the bench and technically replaced the points that the starter should have had.
Don't matter. You
Don't matter. Yeah,
can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Can't sit there in the gate.
It was close enough at the end of the game for AD and LeBron to close the game. They should have.
Agreed.
If you great players, you got to close the game. So that's all I got to say.
All right, man. So, boom. My analysis of this playoff, since, everybody got their turn. Let me go ahead and get back in, get my energy. This shit going great. I motherfucking enjoyed
every goddamn game. You don't even know basketball. We don't care about your opinion.
Oh God.
Yes. This nigga is 6'2" and played fucking strong. Say, nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like, this nigga, let me tell you. Anyway, shit is great. Shit is going. A lot of upsets. Shit is, definitely making everybody tuned in. Bubble's a great idea because now it's not like Nas said, the fans are not giving people energy. Nah, play ball. Nobody gonna scream for you. Not gonna get hyped. What you gonna do about it? Motherfucking Mavs, the first game, Luka went out. But second game, the whole team showed out. So definitely the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers might be in trouble if Luka keep playing like the man he is. He's playing like a man on a mission, and that shit looking real, real scary. Kawhi or Paul George, somebody's going to have to lock that man up, and that's looking damn near impossible. Motherfucking Portland Lakers, There go that man again, Dame motherfucking Dollar. Fuck is you talking about? I don't give a fuck about who had 1 point, who had 3, who gonna stop the nigga that's shooting. Caruso D and that man, lunch. Now you can have your lunch. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Get that white boy the fuck off.
You know how disrespectful it is for a nigga to start dancing mid-game after he drop a 3? That's how you know, nigga. That's how you know, nigga, that's guarding him not doing nothing, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He eating that motherfucking food. Y'all saying LeBron not aggressive, AD, he missing all his field goals, but he had free throws to make up for. You know, you missing what you've been making all game. That's on you. You're going to have to work on your strengths. You see what I'm saying? Motherfucking Melo still coming in clutch. He probably, come on, man. He know he want this motherfucking shit bad as everybody else on the team. So, you know, that's just going to be a great series. They saying them in 5. Right now, if the Lakers play like the Lakers, the stars have to show up. Like I said, the bench, they don't got Bradley. Rondo is out still. If the stars don't show up, it's going to be scary for them. And that's all I got to say about that. The Bucks are whooping the Magic guys because they saw what happened the first game. Oh, shit, they can win. Yeah. This shit is real. This shit is exciting. And I can't wait to see the rest of the games and how it's going to turn out.
All right.
I think KCP went 0 for 9.
Yeah.
Hey, Gordon went 0 for 10 from 3 and still caught the dub, man. Hey, it is what it is, man.
Rockets, right? But at least he made a shot. He made layups and shit. This nigga ain't make a shot. Nigga. He couldn't buy a shot.
That's another thing I want to talk about. Yo, the Rockets. James Harden played like shit today, and they still beat. You know, they beat them by what, like 20, bro. I was like,
Thunder ain't got no scorers, bro, and they ain't got no. They have to play through their big man, and they're not playing through their big man.
Yeah, they're not giving Adams the ball enough.
If you put in Adams and Noel at the same time, and they fucking playing, they're gonna have double teaming on both of them. Somebody's open at 3. You gotta make shots. It's simple fucking ball.
Facts.
Simple shit. You're not like you play through your fucking strength. You saying they're trying to shoot 3s or try to keep up with them? Nah, play defense, get back, make it 2. Play defense because all they're gonna do is try to look for the open man. Nigga, play. Nigga, fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know if you have been noticing, but this nigga PJ Tucker has been in foul trouble at both of the
games.
Yo,
that's a fact.
Yo, the second quarter just started. The second quarter just started. This nigga already had like 3 to 4 fouls. My nigga, I'm like, God damn, PJ,
nigga hack.
I just think
he's playing the center, pretty much. So he's on.
They small. Like as far as like. Lineup wise, like PJ Tucker, they tallest person they got.
Bro, like they choose to do that shit. They got fucking Chandler on the bench. Fuck is you talk about? Like
Tyson
Chandler, yeah.
He's on 18. They just choose to play small ball. They make out like if they play AD in them, I'm pretty sure Tyson Chandler gonna have to get some in. It's impossible for you to put PJ Tucker. Like, he's gonna kill that man, regardless. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They just don't need him right now because it is working. Once the shit, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Once it start fucking falling apart, all right, we need a big man right there.
All right, so let me tag in real quick. So as far as this playoff, I get what y'all saying as far as people having to play ball and all that good stuff. Like, you know, it's just you and another team. But I don't think that's really a fair assessment to make because that's not real ball, so to speak. You're playing in the NBA. There's supposed to be fans there. That is a part of the game. That's why you play for home court throughout the regular season. That is a part of the game. So I understand that you got to make your shots and all that, but we do have to understand that the crowd is a part of the game. That's why, just going to football, that's why they call the Seattle Seahawks stadium the 12th man. It's a part of the game. Those are things or factors that play a part of the game. If that wasn't a thing that was necessary, then the series would be just 1-1, 1-1 all the way up to Game 7. It isn't that way. It's 2-2, 1-1 for a reason. You get the home court, you play your witch call. Now, granted, you got to play your basketball and win your games, but I do feel that a lot of teams may be feeling this home court missing slack, the lack of home court, so to speak. But you can't use that as your hill you're gonna die like, we want to have a home court type shit. In regards to the number 1 seeds losing, I think that it is just, honest to God, I think it's just them underestimating their opponents as well as them not being in real playoff position to be ready to play basketball. They already had 5 months. They had 5 months off, and then they only played 8 games leading on to this. So that and those 8 games were not consequential to them at a certain point. Like after game 3, the Lakers I think locked up that first place position. So at that point, it's inconsequential for them to play. They playing just to go ahead and make sure everybody stays healthy and try to get their legs back. Now, granted, once again, that's not an excuse because the fact is the Blazers. I think the real reason is the Blazers hit the ground running because the fact is they've been in playoff mode since they got in the bubble. So they just continuing from there. Now, granted, that's going to catch up to them eventually. Eventually, that fatigue is going to play a role, and that those 8 games that they played, it's going to wear on the body. But I think that it's going to be a real wake-up call, especially for the Lakers, because the fact that they haven't played yet. We're going to see if they're going to respond well to that punching them out they took on Tuesday. But take it away, T.Y.
I'm hearing excuses after excuses, man.
Y'all can hear me well?
Yeah,
Want to make
Good
sure?
over there, Ty.
You can hear me.
All right, yo, sorry I'm late, y'all. Hey, man, I hear everything y'all saying. I do think, like Kip said, the crowd makes a big difference. If you're a streaky scorer, that crowd in your ear, you getting juiced up. That's like your homeboy telling you see that bad chick in the club. He's like, yo, you got it, bro. You got it, bro.
Yes,
if your homie wasn't there, you probably wouldn't get it. You feel me?
That's the battery in your back.
You'll get it. You exactly. So I do definitely believe that, Kip. I also believe, if I'm always gonna take a hungry dog over a well-fed dog, and I think the Lakers, like you said, wasn't in playoff mode. They're like, all right, we're relaxed, they're mundane, they're chilling, and the Blazers been fighting like literally. They had to fight all through the bubble, and then they had to make a game for them against the Grizzlies to even make it in playoffs. So they've been in playoff mode, and it's like a different mindset. What LeBron said, he goes, 30 dark zero or whatever? Well, understand, Dame has been on Dame time for the past 2-3 weeks now, so it ain't going nowhere. He don't use it special, and it's going the whole couple rounds. I do think LeBron is going to figure it out, but I think that's going to be the best series. As far as
it's another good one. Sorry to cut you off. Another good series right now that I think can go either way is the Mavs and the Clippers.
That's what I was saying.
Yes, very good. Very much so.
I think if Porzingis didn't get ejected out the first game,
maybe 2-zip.
Yeah,
2-zip, hands down, without a problem, without a doubt. 2-zip.
I don't even know if I could call it a good matchup because I honestly think the Mavericks is just going to win outright, bro. Because I don't think the Clippers have an answer for Luka and Porzingis. And Kawhi hasn't been playing like he was playing last year in the playoffs. He not producing like he
Wait, time out, my brother. It's only been one game. How you gonna say he hasn't been playing like he's been playing all last year? My man saw one game.
Nah, it's 2. They played 2 games already.
Yeah,
it's 1-1.
1-1.
All right, whatever. He played 2 games, bro. How you doing that analysis so quickly? And it's still 1-1.
In those 2 games, he didn't produce like he was playing last year. That's what
I could have sworn he dropped
27
34 last game. Because they were saying he dropped 30 and they still lost. That was the whole big thing.
Didn't they give Paul George a new nickname?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What is it?
Pandemic P instead of playoff P.
What?
Wait, why they gonna give him pandemic?
Because he's been playing trash.
He's been playing
Yo,
trash.
in the playoffs, he's been like that even with the
Pacers?
when he was with the
Pandemic P.
Not the Pacers.
He been
OKC.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
well, I definitely did drop
that.
He earned the name Playoff P because he used to kill in the playoffs, but lately he's been trash.
Lately,
he icing his shoulder and shit. I was like, God damn, what's good?
Hey man, only thing I want to comment on is what Kip said. Talk about they haven't played. They ain't got they ain't got their legs under them. I've been watching LeBron and his videos doing squats in his house. Niggas is rich enough to own basketball courts and find a facility. So all that, they don't got their legs on them. They not these rookie like fucking Zion just eating food and waiting for them to call him back. He not no little height. These are experienced players. So you saying they don't got their legs under them, then now you just making excuses. If you knew you was coming back for being a 1 seed and you come back, you telling me you was just sitting at home, not preparing for your job to come
That
back.
is-
You forgot everything.
that's not
you
the
forgot
case,
all your
though.
you forgot
But
all
that's
your
not-
passwords.
That's not
You got
the
locked
case,
out
though.
your email.
But
Forgot all your passwords.
time out. Playing a pickup game isn't the same as
I
playing
was just about it's not the same
basketball.
speed.
That's not the same speed.
How is it not the
there's
same
no way to
speed?
like perfect example. When you practice for football, is no comparison for being in the game as far as practice. You can simulate as much as you want, but it ain't the same as somebody hitting you.
I hear what you're saying.
So
but
it's not the same.
I ran track, and if you're not practicing at full speed, when you get there, you're never going to win a medal. You're never
But
going to
it's
win
different.
a
Of course,
championship.
but it's still
It's two different
it's still
sports.
How
different.
you going to say it's different? Is it sport or is it not?
It's
So
two
you telling me
different sports, though, bro.
But so you telling me your bum ass
I
go to
ran
practice
track
and don't give
too.
100%? You
I
telling me
ran track too.
you're not an
Practices
All-American?
that we
Please
ran
don't
like
talk to me about track.
80%. Like,
All right, let's not stop the personal attacks now.
That's why you're not All-American. I'm saying when you go play your sport, do you go 100%? If you say you go to practice and don't go 100% every time, this is why we're on the podcast, not in the league, bro. We like what the fuck? Like
No,
you getting paid for this,
Bobby.
You
Even
gotta
if you
think
went
about-
because my ankle Gordon Hayward. That's why.
yo.
To be honest.
we can go ahead and say something.
Me and Bobby was
Pass it over
watching
to
that
T.Y.
Gordon Hayward drink too.
Facts.
So
That shit was
there's
crazy,
like
boy.
my thing is that even if you went 100%, there's no way that you can compare that 100% to what you're going to see in the game. Track is different because the fact that you're going 100%, and the only person that you're running against is yourself, essentially. You can give your own track.
Time
But
against time.
exactly. At the end of the day, even still in that situation, when you're on the track against somebody, it's still different than when you're practicing.
I wish I
You
had
don't see
Chad
nobody
Johnson's
breaking
number.
records
I wish I
in
had
practice.
Deion Sanders' numbers. I wish I had somebody that was great number to call and say they wasn't practicing 100% to be
It
better
don't.
than
It got nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with you practice 100%. It has everything to do with how it is on the field, how you are in your sport. It's different. It's a whole
Your
different
adrenaline
dynamic.
up.
It's a whole different mental that's
So you telling
attached to
me
it.
I don't
And your
have
adrenaline is so much higher during the game. During a
Hell
real
yeah.
game, your adrenaline is rushes. Your adrenaline rush is so much. If I'm practicing, bro, my adrenaline rush is not the same as if I'm playing in front of 50,000 people. You
Hell
feel me?
no.
Like it's
That's
way
how I know
different.
I'm
It's like
going
do or
to
die
cook you
when
in
you're out
ball.
there, bro.
Because if I'm playing you in ball, I will talk shit to you every day. I don't give a fuck if it's just on the court, but being friends. I'm
Yeah,
talking
you
shit.
talking shit to me is cool, but I'm talking about the adrenaline.
No, I'm going
of
to
being in front of.
I'm going to kill you so I could tell my friends I killed you and then never play you again. Because
All
you
right,
went
Bobby.
half-ass. I'm
Well,
just
all
saying.
right.
Wait,
It's a
wait.
different
Here,
mentality.
All
If you
right,
want to be
T.Y.
great, you got to be great.
So, hold on.
So,
Let's pass on to T.Y.
my thought process with that. So I think it's two things. I think that it makes it not game speed. So the first thing is the people you're probably doing pickup games with is probably not the dudes you playing against because you don't want to give away too much. Also, you know what I'm saying? They're probably practicing like, oh, I'm going to have to play them in the playoffs, just like a boxer. You're not trying to show them everything you've been working on. So I think that's one thing. So I think that the pickup games are not up to par. I also think that, the reason that there's a preseason is because they understand that people need time to get better. If you even look at players, there's not too many players, like even if you talk about, so let's say this was a suspension, right? If you got a player that gets suspended for maybe like 2-3 weeks, when they come back, they're not in the same shape. So imagine 4 or 5 months. What you know what I'm saying? They're not the same. I watched it. One of my favorite quarterbacks is Tom Brady. When he came back from that 4-game suspension, he wasn't the same Tom Brady. It took him all the way up to like week, like maybe I'd say about 12 to actually look like Tom Brady.
And did you watch the first couple of games when the bubble came back? Basketball was so sloppy that first week, bro. It was
Big
hella
facts.
turnovers, hella
Big
missed
facts.
open layups. The one announcer said it looked like 3 p.m. at Planet Fitness. Like,
Yes, I heard that.
bro,
Yes, he did say that. Yes, big
it was
fact.
so sloppy,
3 a.m. at Planet Fitness. That's hilarious.
that shit, bro. But it's the truth though, because you know when you play, like I said, when you playing in the game is just the speed is so different, different. So
I agree with that statement. You guys had very valid points throughout that. So let's shift gears. We're gonna stay within the realm of basketball. We have now just seen that they have released footage of the altercation that happened between that officer and the president of the Raptors. I may butcher his name, Masai Origi. I may be saying that
Let
incorrectly.
me tell you. I'm glad you're the host this week, Kip, because I would have not said that anywhere close to what you just said.
But you saw how I prefaced it with the Raptors president. You heard it? You heard me.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, but the Raptors president, he had an altercation after the Raptors won the championship last year, where he was shoved by a officer who was preventing him from getting on the court. Now, the big issue and the big debate that happened is the fact is that the officer, after the incident, said that the president is the one that actually initiated the altercation and also punched him. He was actually being sued in federal court because the fact is that this officer was stating that this altercation happened and basically he was the aggressor in the situation. I don't know if you guys watched the video recently because I know that TY posted in the chat. How are you guys feeling about this altercation, how it's going on, and how do you guys feel about this video coming to light finally?
I'll talk on it first.
Go ahead.
Bro, honestly, I think it is ridiculous that like he put his hands on him. It wasn't even like usually security is like, listen, like, can I see some ID, or this is a restricted area, like who are you before you enter this court? And as you can see in the video, it looked like he was taking like his pass or whatever out of his jacket so he can like put it around his neck.
Absolutely, he was. Yep.
Yeah, but it was like that forceful like push. It was like, bro, that shit was unnecessary, man. It was like, come on. And I think it just and I hate to bring race into it, but if it was a white dude in that situation with a suit on, I think it'd have been handled a lot differently. I think it'd have been a more cordial like interaction with the man. But I just didn't like that. And then the fact that they lied and sued and tried to sue the man and say that he was the aggressor in the situation. You see, cuz put his whole hands on him, push him like 3 feet back. If I was a grown ass man, I don't care who you are. You could be a cop or whatever. I'm pushing you to like what? Like out of nowhere, bro. So like I definitely thought it was, I thought it was fucked up. I thought the whole situation is bullshit, and I think that something needs to be done with that particular officer, security, or whatever. But but you see this situation happen all the time. So it's just sad. What's my dog Kanye's favorite line?
Just a nigga in a coupe.
Yup, nigga in a coupe, man. You could be in a coupe, you still a nigga, bro. But it's cool. You feel me? So,
all right.
I think, because if I'm thinking right, I think that game was at the Golden State
City,
in Golden State, right?
Yeah.
So I think that could have been a part of it as well. I do think that if, like you said, X, if the president of Toronto was white, it would be less of a confrontation like that occurred. But I think it was also because it was in their stadium. Maybe he had a bet for Golden State to win it, and he lost a ton of money off of it. And another thing that is like with the whole body cam shit, like if you know about your body cams record you, why even try to take it to the court when you know that shit's gonna come in like anyway that you started that whole shit? Like what's the point behind all of that? That's just wasting everyone's money, including yours, because now you're gonna lose because you know you were in the wrong from Jump Street, but you continue to go down this street of lies, and now you about to lose off the rip because you can clearly see that the president, I'm not going to say his name, I'm going to keep calling him the president of the Raptors. You can clearly see the president of the Raptors reaching for his pass, just like X had mentioned as well. And like, first thing the officer did was put hands on him. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, I don't know, man. He need to lose his job or not be able to host any type of events like that again because that was just crazy.
All right.
I think that like when it comes to that, as far as what you were saying, Dave, why even sue them? Sometimes it's an adrenaline thing, and you probably forget the whole scenario, like what happened, and he probably was
I was thinking that
pushing
too.
on fans the whole time. But like you're right, once you see the footage, we have to assume that he probably saw the footage before he sued.
Yeah,
and it's like why waste that time? But
like,
you also got to think, what do you got to lose? That guy's
Money.
a multi-millionaire, bro.
Money.
You don't got money.
Your job.
All right, your job, but you was gonna lose that anyway, probably. So
Yeah.
you're like, yo, let me get this quick mill.
But you gotta think he still has to pay lawyers to take him to court for that shit, bro. So now if he loses,
there's people that will take on this job no matter what. We're gonna get to a topic where a lawyer took on a job no matter what, and they're just taking it on for the type of case it is. So there's people that will just take on jobs to get their name out there.
That don't mean they taking it for free.
Money.
But
they could do the thing. They could do it like, yo, I only take money if we win.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I also think, like you said, he may have knew who it was and was like, I'm not letting him in here just because he might have lost some money. But I think there's no excuse for that. Yo, like I've been to a whole bunch of events. I've been to a whole bunch of things. You could have handled that way easier. You could be like, yo, you put your hand on them and be like, hey, look, listen, you're not allowed in here. Let me see some credentials, da-da-da. Because I've been like where I had credentials to go places, and that's usually how they act. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't seem like he was being too forceful either. He was just walking through, and he was pulling it out, like you said. Like literally, you could see it hanging, and you could like, all right, bro, just stay
pulling it out and letting it hang. Whoa. Ty strikes again. Ty strikes.
Wow. He did say I
let him rock when he say he pulled it out. I let him rock on that one. I let it swing.
Anyway,
Go ahead, continue.
Anyway, listen. So, yeah. I mean, you could just if you see it there, like if you see the credential there, all you gotta do is like, all right, let me just see. I gotta do my job, sir. Let me just see the credential. But I just felt like it was too much non-needed force there. Like you ain't need all that. It was too much for nothing.
All right. Well, I just wanted to put my little input on that. I definitely agree with y'all point on that. I think that it's just like X quoted Kanye. I'm gonna quote Jay: "House nigga, field nigga, still nigga type shit. No matter what you is, wherever you are,
100%.
you're always gonna be a black person first, and whatever it is comes second. Now, I don't want to get into the semantics of the nigga losing money and all that because it could be factors, but still, at the end of the day. You don't have any. I don't think that anybody has any right to put their hands on somebody in any way, case or form, unless they are breaking the law. You could clearly see in the video that the president was walking down there. He was getting ready to reveal his press pass, whatever pass could be, and they stopped him. Not even stopped him. It's one thing if you stopped him. He forcefully pushed him and cursed at him too. So he was not only aggressive physically, but vocally as well. I think that situation was embarrassing for that president that he had to go through. A lot of people was mentioning like, yo, this is probably the biggest point of his professional career. You're the president. You put together this team, and you got the star player. In the first year you got the star player, you won a championship. That's a lot. That's a lot that's going on, and I think that they absolutely ruined that for him. I was trying to put up this tweet that happened afterwards, and that really infuriated me the most. Was that the police department then chose to double down after the video came out. They chose to double down and say, we fully support the officer, the Senate third. And that is a problem for me because the fact is, not only did you guys go ahead and just like, all right, we're going to go ahead and sue this man, even though you guys clearly had the body cam footage, you went ahead and doubled down afterwards. Now you're calling people stupid right at that point. That's one thing I don't want to be called stupid. So I'm really bothered by that aspect of it is that the police force is absolutely doubling down and supporting him in that. They should be disavowing the situation. They should be like, hey, he fucked up. We don't support that. I don't care if it's just words. It should be something that should be done in this situation. But on the other hand, I also think that, hey, you know what? I'm happy that they taking that stance because now we know that they don't fuck with people. So
the only thing I could say, like, to kind of give the cop some sort of, like, I could see why he did that. Like when the president of the Raptors, because again, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to pronounce that shit. When he was walking to get through, like he was walking with no intent of stopping. It looked like, in my opinion, the nigga he was in full stride with excitement because his team just won, right? At that point, as a police officer who is there to keep everyone safe, I understand putting the hands on it wouldn't have been the right thing, but he could have like shuffled in front of him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Put his hand up. He could just put his hand up like, hey, where's your press?
Maybe like let me look at the video again because maybe
Nah, it was a straight push.
It was a straight push out the gate, bro.
He got leaned back like he was Iron Man fighting somebody.
First of all,
Iron Man.
Yo, what's up, Nah? What you got for me?
Nah, I just want to know. First of all, the cop was totally wrong, like OD wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure. All right, he the president of Toronto, so I'm pretty sure he's not known, like the players known. You're not gonna see him as much, but I'm pretty sure he didn't come from like the stands or anything. I'm pretty sure he came from where the team probably was, or maybe he was at the Skybox. You know, they probably
The box, yeah, probably the box.
up there. All right, but still, that situation was totally uncalled for.
Yep.
And he had people. The crazy thing is, he had people with him that was like, "Yo, this the I heard it on the video.
Yeah.
I
heard it. Yeah.
That's what they said. They were like, "Yo, this is the Raptors president," and he pushed him again.
So, X, I got a question. So, X, so I got a question. If I'm with you, we all with you, and we say you the president, we just supposed to take your word that you the president of the Raptors?
But you ain't supposed to put your hands on me again without getting confirmation.
I think that you absolutely should go ahead and
shoot him again.
I think that they should have absolutely let him pass through, because the fact is he was getting his pass out.
He was showing his ID.
I understand that he was walking with the intention of not stopping, but
he pushed him with two hands.
I understand. You can see that he's absolutely pulling a pass out of his pocket. You can see it. You can see it at the point that he was about to reach him. He's probably pulling the pass out like, "Yo, let me get through."
It was his top pocket.
And I'm pretty sure that the cops know who these individuals are prior to the game. If you're the president of a team, I think that you're on, like, I'm sure they're on the court prior to the fucking game. They talked to the players. Kyle Lowry was with him, like, after the situation happened. Like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, he good, this and the third. So I'm pretty sure there has been an interaction where the cops have to have seen this man on the court or in the stadium. You can't
assume
that.
Yeah,
you can't assume that, because when the cops and security get jobs, all they do is there for security. Some people, they look and try to talk to and associate, but some people literally just there to guard the court. So if somebody's walking with the intention of not stopping.
That man lost a lot of money in that series, bro. I'm going to get my money back. I'm going to put this president in a situation where I could possibly win and get my money back.
Yeah, I do. Like you said, Bobby, that is true, because, like, sometimes
we popping the Trony Tron.
Who doing that?
But it is faded and that's rated. Am I right? All right. I am on vacation. Just want to put that out there.
Swinging and pulling things out. You're right.
Hey, yo.
But what I just wanted to say, because I wanted to make a very serious point. But, you know, like, event people, you know, sometimes when it's security for all events, like Bobby said. So maybe he's a hockey fan and don't know anybody on the basketball team and just does it to get the hockey tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you, but
and then imagine how many people try to rush the stadium, the court.
Bro, I hear y'all. I really do hear y'all. My thing is that there was a sea of what's it called? What's it? Golden State people that were clearly right there in the stands. That was standing straight up. This was the one person who decided to hook to it. There wasn't like a bunch of people rushing. It would be one thing if a bunch of people was rushing and then he was pushing people back.
It's a slippery slope, man.
I'm not gonna lie, kid. I'm not gonna lie.
What's up?
I would want the president to have his access pass out.
Yeah.
Bro, he's pulling out though. Paul.
Nah, you gotta have that thing out before you get over there.
Nah, man. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that.
You know what it was for me? What it was for me is the fact that he pushed him with one hand at the beginning. The thing he said,
he stepped through on that thing,
and then proceeded to push Cuz with two hands. The next time,
he ain't my president. That's what he said.
I was doing that. Like, it's not my president, bro. It's not my president. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, nah, he dead trespassed him out the way. Like,
bro.
He was like,
he the president of the Raptors? I'm gonna give him two hands this time around. I see. But yo, this is my only rebuttal to that. This is my only rebuttal to that.
Say that too, kid.
This is my only. This is my only rebuttal to that situation. I get that. I get those points, but I think the next problematic thing afterwards is the fact is that not only did the altercation happen, the nigga proceeded to lie afterwards and say that
That's another fact.
That's the thing that's where I'm like, nah, my nigga, yeah, we can't let this ride. Using the wrong. It would have been one thing if you're like, yo, I pushed through because the fact is I thought that he was a fan rushing the what you call XYZ. That's cool. Like, all right, my nigga. Like, no harm, no foul. The situation happened. But the nigga proceeded to double down and then try to sue the nigga afterwards. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
You think he watched the body cam footage like, ooh, I fucked up. They gonna get me on this one.
At this time, you gotta double down and feel like you gotta stay in your ground. Like,
Right. I'm already here.
From my point of view,
I was
he
threatened.
don't got his badge out. I mean,
Nigga say he punched him or some shit like that.
he could have had a weapon. In the heat of the moment, I thought he hit me, but he didn't.
I thought so. Octopus arms.
Octopus?
Who is in a full 3-piece suit going to a basketball game?
An investor?
Nah, you'll be surprised. You'll be
John
surprised.
Yo,
Wick.
let me
He
tell
might
you
pull
something.
up.
John Wick.
You ever been to a bar? A white bar, bro?
They always
That's all
suited
that's
up.
really- yo,
They
all
come
suited up, bro.
But they coming
That's
right
a
after work,
bar.
baby. They coming right after work.
In DC,
Awesome.
yeah, in DC, everybody be wearing suits and shit to the bar.
The
But we
the
talking
part.
about
Okay.
basketball
That's the
game.
pickup. That's a pickup fit right there, baby. That's like wearing a pair of J's in the hood.
That's
That's
like
a
you
fact.
straight from work to the bar, happy hour.
That's
Let these
It's a
bitches know
fact.
I'm important, baby.
You
Let
come
these bitches know I'm important.
out of Manhattan and go to happy hour right after like 5-6. You gonna see them on 42nd with them suits.
We talking about a basketball game. Come on, bro. Come on.
It's called peacocking, my brother.
Yeah,
Peacocking.
big fact.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, and I'm telling you, yo, what it is for me is the second push.
Yeah, the second push is OD. He didn't even try to hear him out. He ain't trying to listen. He just said,
But you see the president face like, oh my god.
Y'all ain't shit.
The president was like, yo.
Why you do that? Why you do that? That's with native tongue and shit. Like, what?
Do that.
Oh man. Oh, y'all
yeah,
niggas,
wow.
y'all niggas is funny.
You know, he was about to slap him. You know, African slaps.
Chill out. Chill out.
Hey, yo, you,
Nipsey Hussle
Right.
slap.
Hey,
bro,
the
you
whack.
know- yo, you seen him on the second push? He reached for his shoe. He's gonna take his shoe off and throw it, bro.
Nah, you
Y'all niggas
Alright.
Yeah. What?
moving
Y'all
on. We
snapping
moving
right
on.
now.
Hey, next
Kid,
rated.
move on to the next topic, bro.
Y'all
What's
y'all
that?
niggas is going in.
Bro.
Y'all niggas
You running? All right. Yeah.
Yo, y'all need to chill. Oh my god. All right, so I don't know. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on right now. So let's go ahead and shift gears into something a little bit. Sadly, go ahead and say, guys, we want to stick to politics right now. Damn, nigga, T.Y. just disappeared off my screen. Hold the fuck up. The nigga was there and then gone. That shit fucked me up. But
Nigga threw that blanket up on you, nigga.
yo,
That Patron
That
starting
fucked
to hit
me
me,
up.
bro. I ain't gonna lie. The Patron starting to hit.
He took the
Patron
Patron
hit me.
disappeared, boy.
I'm hot right now, bro. I just want to let you know I'm hot as hell in this room.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my AC right now. I don't know. But let me go ahead and move on to the next topic, man. So we're coming upon election time. Election time is what? We're in August,
November.
September,
November.
October, November. So 3 months
November.
away. So we're 3 months away. And there's a lot of conspiracies that are floating around. I'm not too sure if you guys are aware of this, but there are a lot of conspiracies as well as a lot of people are campaigning right now, or primarily the two representative candidates are campaigning at this point. So we're first starting with the fact that this conspiracy theory is floating around that the U.S. Postal Service, they are now removing mailboxes from several locations. The reason why I bring that up is that there's a presumptive thought that there will be mail-in ballots due to coronavirus. I did post the link in the chat. I'm not too sure if you guys probably been reading about this or thinking about this. But do you guys think there's any sort of value behind this thought that there's some type of voter suppression that's going around with these mailboxes being removed from local neighborhoods and things of that nature in these mail-in ballots?
I believe it. Just so forth like you do. I feel like it attacks two sets of demographics pretty much. It's the young people that just can't drop it in the mailbox, or the old folk that just can't go too far. You see what I'm saying? And that's just could affect it because nobody's really gonna like, yo, this not here, so I can't get to the post office, and they're not gonna put in that extra effort. You see what I'm saying, to go and do it. Or even if, like you say, even if they did, they're trying to shut down post offices, or take their funds, which is having them protest. Just a lot of things that could affect the ballots getting in and actually being able to vote. So it's definitely it's a tough topic and just rough out there, man. But shout out LeBron for trying to get voters booth in the stadium, the baseball stadium.
Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, what neighborhoods are the mailboxes going missing?
Oh, I had to look into that. I'm sorry about
great
that.
Mixing
Very
liquor with
valid
ice
point.
cream?
That's a
Look at this
great
guy over there.
question.
Look at this guy.
Ice cream? Oh my God.
This stuff gonna be fucked up.
I'll look into that. I'll look into that, Ty. But let's go ahead and move on to somebody else, and I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I got one. So I think, like I've always been saying, at this point, it don't even matter, bro, because our vote don't matter when it comes to the presidential election.
It did not matter, bro.
Like if this was for like voting for like all the local like people that make those decisions for the electoral votes, it'd be different. Okay, I'd be different. Like if you do that, that's really impactful. Our votes, popular vote doesn't matter in the presidential election.
Just think about it. Why is this happening now that niggas trying to get Trump up out of there, and why they decide to do this? Like snatch up all the mailboxes.
Like Trump just getting away with everything that you shouldn't be doing as president, and this nigga not reaping no consequences from it. That shit's crazy. Wild.
I feel, and also at the same time, what's funny is just the fact that the one, like, everybody want to talk about the conspiracies as a whole, and it's like Trump. I don't know if y'all heard the news about what happened today with Trump's like his top advisor for the presidential campaign. He was arrested for basically like fraud during Trump's campaigning, and apparently a couple of Trump's other business partners have been arrested due to like human sex trafficking and like mob type shit and like money laundering. So it's definitely a bunch of conspiracies that's going against Trump right now, and Trump trying to take out like these, like the post office. He trying to do that to help his election, because with the write-in ballots, with people not having to actually go in and vote when they can just send it in through the mail, it makes voting a lot easier for people. And if voting is easy, more people are going to do it. Trump got a better chance of losing. But kind of like what Day said with the electoral college, as long as we have the electoral college, we still fucked, because it's like if you vote Biden and your whole entire state votes Trump, that whole electoral college points go to Trump. Like your vote didn't mean shit anymore. Your vote don't mean shit anymore. So it's rough.
Y'all niggas is spitting right now. I'll leave that son. Y'all niggas is spitting right now.
Now we potting.
Yeah,
I mean,
Now we potting.
I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ty.
My thought wasn't fully formed yet. I was just gonna go with the flow and then try to figure something out as I was talking.
Okay,
so you go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Well, I agree with y'all on that. I'll sadly say I'm one of the individuals on this planet that don't fucking vote. The reason being is I feel the same way. I think that we are using an old system that doesn't really work any further at this point. We shouldn't have to rely on 270 votes for somebody to be elected president in a country that has 300 some odd million people, maybe 400 million people, or whatever the case may be at this point. So I think the idea is flawed. Actually raised a very valid point that if you live in a district and you decide to vote for a specific candidate, no matter if they're Democrat or Republican, if you live in an overwhelmingly opposing party location.
Let's just say Texas. Because Texas is always
Texas. You can go Texas or New York. You go Texas, New York. Texas is usually Republican. New York is usually Democrat. If you were that one person that voted in that opposite way, don't get me wrong. Now they quote say every vote counts, but in those areas, they are typically going to go that way unless something tremendous happens, which swings that vote. But it's not really ever going to change. So, like, I that's why, being from New York, I really didn't feel the necessity to vote because the fact is, shit, it really didn't matter. Like, it didn't really go ahead and do anything.
Because you knew your state was going to be Democrat, right?
Yeah, I knew my state was going to be Democrat. It's like, I know what it's going to be. It's not like this shit my shit really going to change anything. Now, as far as the post office box being removed, I couldn't get a number on that, TY, but it says that is mainly in California this is happening, then followed by Florida, Texas, and New York, I believe, in that order, which is quite alarming because the fact is those are the states with the largest amount of people, so those are states with the most electoral votes. Two of which are Democratic states, 2 of which are Republican states, but if we go on with the grand conspiracy that Republicans are trying to win the election, they already know Texas and Florida is going to go ahead and be theirs anyway, so it's not really going to affect them. It's New York and California. If they can skew those shits, they're good. They in the green right now. Now, granted, I don't know if it's a grand conspiracy, but I definitely think it's quite alarming that they're deciding to do this at this point in the year on this specific year. It seems very alarming that this would happen at this point. So I definitely think that something's up. I think we need to be mindful of this. And we already have a guy in the office who says he doesn't like the idea of mail-in ballots. So that's just fueling the flame for me. So, yeah.
Packages get lost every time, B.
Yeah, right.
Return to sender.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, now you late to vote?
Yeah.
You got me.
So, like, you feel me? That's where my stance is on that. I feel like it's definitely something odd there, but yeah. TY?
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, Bobby. Now you up, Bob.
Nah, I'm about to say I agree with y'all. Definitely. That's why I got a lot of people that's like in politics, like actually like, are like assistants to like mayors and stuff. That's why like local voting is definitely important, just because that's when you actually could get somebody that can actually then move up into, maybe one day go to the White House or be a governor of the state, just things like that. But if you don't vote locally and then you don't go ahead and know what that person is even about, and then you vote for somebody that's outside and never lived in your state, it looks bad. And then they just putting in rules and policies that you don't agree with, but you didn't even try to change it. So then you want to vote for presidency, like you guys said, which all he does is listen and could only pass certain shit that everybody agrees on. So it's just like, what are we really doing? We're voting for the top, but we never even fix the bottom. So it's like, this shit is trash. Like you said, the electoral colleges and each state is always going to be each state. That's why people move to those states, because they got the same views and they want to be comfortable when they live. It's everything, like you said, is flawed, and it's annoying, to be honest with you. But just stay strapped, because they come around this block, they will get clapped.
Wow.
Definitely, like, voting, like, your senator, voting, the House of Representatives, voting, your mayor and stuff, like all the smaller, I don't want to say smaller, because when I say smaller, it makes it seem like it's not as significant, but all of, like, the lower ballots, like, they're probably more important than, the presidential, ballot to a certain degree, because those are the people that can, agree to the legislations or pass certain laws that, your president might have in place. Like, I feel like what hurt Obama during his years is, him trying to get things passed. The majority of, like, the House of Representatives and the Senate were Republicans. So a lot of the ideas and stuff that he had, they didn't agree with. So some of the things that Obama wanted to do, he couldn't necessarily do because of who he had, running with him, or who he had working with him while he was in office. So definitely, the other votes mattered just as well.
Okay,
All right, so my thought process is now knowing the state. First thing I want to say, no matter what goes on, Trump put a bulletproof scapegoat out there, because he can always say fake news. So even if it's true news, fake news, intermediate news, we'll never know because he already put that out there and can manipulate whatever the thought process is. The next thing I'm gonna say is it's kind of weird that it's those states. Florida is a swing state. If I'm not mistaken, it was a real important state when Al Gore and Bush were going against each other.
That
Yes.
recount. That's what fucked them
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
That recount.
So I don't know, but the rest of them is kind of weird. Like, let's say I was part of the team that was doing this. I would do it in more of a swing state that I feel that I'm losing grips on. I wouldn't do it in New York because, like you said, it's mostly dominant liberals and Democratic. I wouldn't do it in Cali. I wouldn't, cause same thing. I wouldn't do it in Texas because I know I'm gonna get those votes. I will go Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania. I will hit those swing votes. So it's kind of weird. Not to mention, I think the only reason it's coming up because it's in such a mass and it's so important this year. There's been mail-in ballots for years after years after years after years. So I don't think that this is just, like a big blow to our system or so different. But I do think it's just, it's bigger because a lot more people are probably going to have to do it. A lot more people that vote are probably going to have to do it because, let's be honest, usually our demographic as far as like our age group don't vote until later on in life when they actually understand politics. But that's, 50, 60, 70 and higher usually vote because they understand it and they know what affects them, even if they're one topic voters. So it affects them the most. I don't actually believe like that's happening, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it's just weird. Who just takes mailboxes and how come nobody's seeing them? We got all the goddamn technology. Who walking around taking mailboxes,
bro? Who controls the technology? Every time you say I want some new soap, what Facebook got for you? Hey, try this new soap. Come on, man. You know the vibes.
All right, but we got phones. Hey, come on, son. If somebody's walking around your neighborhood with a bunch of mailboxes or has them in their trunk, you're not gonna be like, yo, let me record. This kind of weird. Or you're gonna be like, yo, you see that?
It's the postal service that's removing them. It's the postal service that's removing them. They actually the ones that actually are lifting them up and taking them.
Okay. So that makes more sense. Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah, all right. I see what you're saying. I wouldn't really say nothing to the postal service. I'm like, it's mail. There's a mailbox. They're taking it. I get it.
Yeah,
my boy Todd thinking somebody in a black tee with some white mailbox.
Lifting the shit.
With mailboxes,
picking up mailboxes and taking off with them. What?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like,
bonk gang.
But so here's a better thought. Why do you think the postal office is in favor? Who do we think this is benefiting most?
The post office is getting defunded. They're taking their funds away. That's another big thing that's happening. So that's why.
That's why they was like
they have a horse in the race.
Yeah, so they're taking their funds, and that's why they was like they're trying to take them away because that's how you get like your local newspapers, you get your local mail, and a lot of cheap like just stuff locally, and then people are not going to want to pay for like the newspaper stuff. They're not going to want to pay for FedEx and UPS and stuff like that. They're Amazon, like their taxes are higher than the local post office. So why would I sit there and try to mail like all my stuff through them when this was right here and very convenient locally? You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole big ordeal going on with it.
Can you mail shit through Amazon?
Yeah. Huh? You set up your stuff, and then you would go ahead and just like it'd be your profile, and then you mail it, and they'd take a percentage of it to where it's going.
You guys lost me there a little bit, but okay. All right. Well, staying in the realm of politics, let's go ahead and jump into this next topic. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the video that was circling on the internet a couple months back. There was a couple that when the protest began, I forgot what state this was in. Forgive me for forgetting.
I just saw that too. I'm gonna look it up.
St. Louis, Missouri. There's a couple in Missouri that were deciding that enough was enough, so to speak. They had protesters that were either around their home or wherever they were, and began waving guns at the crowd. They have been recently invited to the Republican National Convention, which is the big convention to go ahead and for those parties to go ahead and officially announce their nomination for their representative for their party. So presumably we're gonna have President Trump. Well, I'll say
Okay.
Donald Trump. I'm sorry about that. I don't like to use President Trump, but we're gonna have Donald Trump go ahead and be announced as that person. So recently they have invited them to go ahead and actually speak at the Republican National Convention.
I didn't know about this.
Yep.
Well, see, that's what happened when you miss out on the itinerary we post in the chat. But let me stop. But yes, that is a thing that's actually happening at this point, is that they're invited them to come and speak out. How do you guys feel about this? What do you guys think? Any thoughts? Any ideas?
Perfect PR. Perfect PR. Let me tell
People
you
gonna
why.
watch it.
Did y'all know the DNC just happened?
Yes.
The DNC could, like, a lot of people don't know that happened, but
There's another one tonight too, with him actually having his acceptance.
You know what I'm
DNC
saying?
was
So-
big because they had Michelle and Obama speak. That was a big thing. I heard they were circling for a while.
But my thing is, like, we wouldn't really be talking about it unless they had something like this happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they even having that kid, that was at the conservative. I don't know exactly what event it was. That was, claimed harassing the Native American, and they found out he wasn't. I think it's PR because we're talking about it. Like, everything is about what you're talking about, bro. If it's coming out your mouth, pause it. Okay, it is important.
I knew what you were saying, Troy.
Spit, don't swallow.
All right. So, like, if we're talking about it, it's a good thing for them. Like, all right, what else will we be talking about if it was Trump? I'm pretty sure Trump would have gave us some noteworthy stuff to talk about. But what else will we be talking about?
Court attention at all costs.
Yeah, like,
I get it.
I think it was perfect PR. Like, you got people that quote unquote because they don't even know if they're Democratic or Republican. They just happen to know that they waved the gun at Black Lives Matter. And we don't know what happened over there. Something could have happened where, like, they was on their yard doing something crazy, but something could have happened where nothing happened. And they were just doing that. So, like, we don't know if they're Republican or Democratic. We're just saying that they are because, they happen to be invited there. And then also the kid I know he's more Republican because he was at a conservative rally. And that's when the Native American came up to him and did whatever. But I just think it's all attention grabbing. Everything's attention grabbing. Just like when Nancy Pelosi put on that the garb. What's it called again?
The kente cloth.
The dashiki, the kente cloth. Like, it's all PR,
That shit was
bro.
nut. That shit was nut.
It's all PR. All they're doing, they understand how to get people's votes now. Like, it's attention. It's all attention, bro.
Let's say they think they know what to do because that whole dashiki shit that blew up in their face bad. That shit was look crazy.
But honestly, it's funny. It's funny because I don't think, and I hate to, I don't like the term white people, black people, whatever, like, because I think we're all people. But it's funny. I think
we're all people.
I think we're all people, but I hate saying white people. That shit sound weird to me.
No, I'm just laughing because you said I think that we're all people. No, nigga, we are people.
You got some reptilians out there, my bro. You got reptilians.
You gotta understand, not everybody thinks that. Not people don't treat us like we people. Obviously, I think that we're people, but not everybody feel that way.
Rocky Marciano.
What the fuck is wrong?
But anyways, like I was saying though, is I just think it's funny because at the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out how fast, if those people was black, how fast cops would have been there on their ass trying to shoot them if it was two black people out there with guns, waving guns at people. Like, it's crazy. It's mind blowing to me, bro. It's the whole thing is just mind blowing. And then with this whole pandemic thing and people actually seeing, racism at first hand, I don't think white people know how to handle it. I think they think that by putting on the dashiki and kneeling down, that they showing respect.
Solidarity.
They thinking they're doing what they think is right. By Joe Biden, choosing Kamala as his VP. Honestly, I could have called that shit. I knew that shit was gonna happen. You feel me? He think he's doing the right thing for black people. And it's like
identity politics.
Yeah, it's just like they just trying to that's exactly what they're trying to do. They just trying to identify with black people. But at the end of the day, I don't know if their policies or I don't know, what their plans are to actually help black people. They just trying to identify with us, which I
I
don't.
haven't heard nothing. They both pedophiles and just scammers. Fuck them.
I haven't heard nothing. It's funny with both of these, with both of the people running. I haven't heard no policies. I ain't haven't heard a plan.
You're right.
You know why, X?
Mm.
X China. It's like, nah.
That's bad.
Yeah, that is crazy.
China.
Yeah.
The only thing I heard that that really piqued my interest that any presidential candidate has mentioned was what Biden mentioned, and it doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form, but it's actually a good idea. Apparently, they were thinking about wiping away student debt for public colleges. I don't know why it's not private, but I think it's public colleges. And if I'm not mistaken, it could be specifically for black public colleges. I don't know.
Whoa.
Love it.
HBCUs?
Hello. I think that may be a thing, or is it just it may be that, or maybe for public colleges in general, which is obviously a good idea. But
hold some, y'all.
not to go ahead and delve down this rabbit hole too far, but I think that I personally don't really live in the state. I live in the state of Delaware, but I personally didn't want Biden to win. I would rather went with Bernie or Elizabeth Warren. I felt like their ideas were a little bit more aligned with what I would want as far as making sure they want to make drastic changes, which I think would have definitely changed things. But I think Biden
Yang would have been good too.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to Yang, but I know Yang had some ideas that were actually pretty good. We're saying, but I think that they definitely could have gone a little bit better with those two, because the fact is they were looking to really go ahead and try to get rid of people's debt and shit like that. Shit that really lingers over people's heads, and it wasn't specifically pandering towards black people. Like, oh, we're gonna do this for black people. It was like, all right, we want to try to help everybody. But we can understand that this is really going to really affect the black people big, to the fact that black people that kind of go ahead and graduate tend to have a lot of debt. So they're going to alleviate that. So that I could have got a line. I could have got with that. But as far as anybody coming with a tailored plan specifically to assist black people, maybe I haven't been listening hard enough, but I ain't been hearing nothing. So
that's a fact.
I haven't been hearing nothing.
But you're right. I don't think I've been listening hard enough, but I ain't heard nothing.
Shit like that should be in the forefront. But I agree with what you said, X. I think that the choice of Kamala, I knew I was coming. He already said that he wanted a female minority candidate from VP or some shit like that. And I knew it was going to go to Kamala. I'm like, you're going to go with black because you want to try to get that vote. And it's a terrible pandering idea because, personally, I already said it on my last podcast, so I'm not going to reiterate. But yeah, that's just my point on that.
Hey, you want my vote? Arrest fucking Breonna Taylor's murderers, bro. You want my vote? Do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I fucking feel. That's real change right there. Real change is by sitting here saying, you know what, this system is fucked up and people gotta pay for their fucking consequences, bro. Because there's been how many shootings since George Floyd, since Breonna Taylor's death, bro? Like, ain't shit changed. Shit has not changed. They pushed the shit under the rug, but it ain't changed, bro. So all that whoop-de-whoop that niggas is doing right now is whatever, bro. But I need you to sit up here and not only acknowledge that there's a problem, but tell me how you gonna fucking solve it.
Exactly. I agree with that statement 100%.
They gonna give us vaccines, keep track of us, and then use what they need.
Yo, chill out. Nigga, pin hat on for real. All right, but shifting gears, I think that we haven't done this a lot, so I think this is a good idea. We should definitely get into this. But this is more so for our black women out there. We're going to go ahead and get into a little bit of topics regarding things that have happened around black women. Of course, none of us are identified as women at this point, so we really can't.
I'm about to say quote unquote, we could never speak for women, but we are just going to give an overview of our perspective.
Yeah, not my perspective, because you know what, they ain't asking for it. But I'm just saying, like, we can't speak for black women, but we definitely want to go ahead and shed light on things that are definitely affect black women, things that have been brought up. So first, it's hard to do this to this man, but we're gonna have to talk about the Trey Songz allegations, things that are coming out about Trigger Trey, man.
Say
Yeah, that what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Who wants to take over on this one and speak on what happened in this situation?
Sound like they wants to.
I don't. Not the Pod Piper Jr.
Can somebody go ahead and jump into this? I really ain't that well versed in what happened in the situation. I'm sorry.
I mean, I ain't either, but there's been like several allegations that. So I'll go from what I know. So there was a time like in the past where Keke Palmer had like an encounter with him, and like he took her phone away, and she had to like hide in the closet to get away from the nigga. So that's one situation. They say like he likes to get women overly drunk and like try to take advantage of them or some sort of thing. That was kind of evident in the video that when he was with Meg Thee Stallion and she was clearly already drunk and he kept trying to push the bottle to her. And then there was a situation recently where these two girls were on a radio show.
Podcast. With Adam
no jumper.
Was it a podcast? Podcast? Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
it was a podcast. Yeah. With Adam. Was Adam 22?
Yeah, I believe so. Adam 22.
One of the chicks was Selena Powell, I believe, right? Is that one?
Yes.
I don't know who the other girl was that was making the shit.
Azarella.
Which one? Wait,
something. Ayla Reza. Come on, people. Y'all know I can't pronounce names. So
which one was the one that said she sucked off the whole team? Though?
That was the other.
Oh, that was the one. No, that's the same one. That's the same
Selena
one.
Powell, I believe.
That's not Selena Powell that said she.
Yes, she did. Yes, I watched it, my brother. I watched it.
She absolutely said it.
I thought Selena Powell was the one in the back that wasn't
in the
doing it.
In the words of Sci-Hi, we call it T-shirt because she gave the whole crew
neck.
Edit that.
Me.
Edit that.
Nah, we had, that was hard.
I thought we was talking about the problems. Like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
She said it herself, bro. She said it herself. I'm just talking about what she said out her mouth, not mine. Her mouth.
She did not quote Saha. I promise you.
She might as well.
Chill out. Yeah.
It wasn't Selena Powell that said the Trey Songz shit or the gave head. No, it wasn't. I just googled it. She was the one in the background that was
Hyper Hop saying she was shy and shit.
Yeah. No. The shy one was the friend. The one that said
one was the friend.
The one that said that Trey Songz pissed on her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting right into it then.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and continue.
The cat's out the bag. Trey Songz peeing on bitches. All right.
True.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Or allegedly. That's everyone's innocent until proven guilty. So
I just want y'all to know if this episode gets removed, y'all know why.
Yeah. So
lovers wanna love. I don't even
like she was saying that like he had her cooped up in the hotel for a few days, took her phone away, she couldn't
Who's
really
that?
do
Kiki
anything.
Or is it the other girl?
This is the other girl, the ones that was on the podcast.
Oh, she said that. Okay, got you.
Yes.
My fault.
Said they would just have sex multiple times, and then he would just like disappear, but she couldn't leave because she didn't have a phone or whatnot. Blase. And then Trey kind of counteracted or responded and saying, "Nah, it's bullshit." And then he sent up or like put up like the receipts from IG saying that like you see her just like being real thirsty, trying to get in contact with him, and him. In my opinion, what was said in those screenshots can still mean that he was pissing on girls because they didn't really show shit. Except for like once she said, "Let me eat your ass," he was like, "Where you at?" Yeah.
Granted, these females are clout chasers. They like they're known clout chasers. That's what like the industry say on social media. But hey, the story is very vividly. But like I said, innocent until proven guilty, and Trey Songz tried to cover his. Speak up for himself, cover his tracks by posting like messages and emails and shit like that.
Yeah. This is out. This is a sidebar, but I seen a tweet on there was a tweet on Twitter where
tweet on what?
Tweet on Twitter. Tweet on Twitter.
Usually that's when it happens, but
So on IG, it was a tweet on
Twitter. Goddamn it! All right, about to make me say. So there was the Selena Powell chick was trying to get at Drake, right? It was like his DMs. He was like, He's like, how you get my number? He's like, she was like, my friend, you gave it to me at one of your parties. He was like, oh, I know who you are. Nah, I'm not even going down
That's
that.
what Drake said.
That's what Drake said. Or supposedly
Drake a smart.
Drake.
Hey, Drake a smart man, bro.
He said, nah, I know who you are.
Hey,
you know, like he said, they're known clout chasers. That's what he probably
You know
heard.
what he did? You know what he did? He was like, well, "What's your name?" He did his little Instagram and Twitter research.
Yeah,
Oh,
she gave him her Instagram. That's what
he
happened.
probably was like, Chubbs,
right.
Chubbs, who's this? Who's this Chubbs? It's right
Right.
there. Oh, okay. Okay,
Right,
I ain't with that.
Here's the problem.
I would do the same thing though. Where was Trey's team at?
Here's the problem, though.
Probably in the same room, getting it popping with him, just like she said with the basketball teams. I'm sorry, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate. I'm sorry. Let's continue. My fault, X.
I was saying that the problem was, and I love, like, I'm gonna speak, not for my black women, but I'm gonna speak, about it.
I know what you're saying.
That they going through, right? The fact that Keke Palmer has said, this about Trey Songz,
years ago. Yeah.
And nobody even batted an eye when she said that. And she even said in that interview, she's like, yo, I'm not trying to sit up here. And she's like, I'm not trying to clout chase. I'm not trying to, like, speak bad on him or his name.
Like, what would Keke Palmer have to gain from that?
Right.
She's already a star. Like, so.
Oh, okay.
I hear you.
But the fact that nobody even, like, checked into it, but all of a sudden, these females who, aren't black, say the same thing about Trey Songz. Now it's a problem. Now it's, oh man, Trey Songz is wilding. Trey Songz is wilding. And it was like, well, why didn't we sit up here and check Trey Songz when Keke Palmer was saying some shit about it? So,
I get that. I get that idea. I definitely do. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put a rebuttal on that. I get that idea, but I think the problem is, and I think this is what a big problem in the world is. I think that, not to go ahead and be the guy, but I'm going to say it. I think that girls have the idea. Well, I think that women have the idea that men have a monopoly on stupid, if that makes sense. That we are the only ones that say stupid shit and do stupid shit. Because the reason why I say that is this. Women feel a way about us as quote-unquote black men not taking up for them when something comes out and something is said. Like, we don't go ahead and go to bat summons and really, quote unquote, go ahead and disavow somebody for an action. We go ahead and attempt allegedly push it under the rug, so to speak. I think the problem that I have with it is that at the same token where we have men who do that, we have women who equally do the same thing. I don't know why people think that men have the monopoly on the stupid gene type shit. Like, that's my biggest problem. I think that women think that we are the only ones who are saying and doing stupid shit. Because I remember distinctly that there are women that are on the profile who did the same exact thing that men are being accused of doing. Now, granted, I understand that there are several cases and several incidents where black men don't stick up for black women, and black men they let shit fall to the wayside. But they equally could be said for women. Not saying that women should be it should be like that, but I'm saying that happens in both capacities. And to cast a stone at somebody because the fact is they don't do something, and you're not checking your sisters for doing the same thing, it seems counterproductive in my opinion.
That's a fact. And
I think that's counterproductive. Now, granted, I just want
to give an example. So you saying basically it's like when they said Cardi B was out here and back in the days drugging people and stealing money, drugging men, taking men home, drugging them, and then stealing money from them, and nobody like really like batted an eye. Nobody really like came at her for it. Or really,
it was a bunch of women saying she had to do what she had to do to survive.
Yeah. It was like, whoa. So that's acceptable. Like, you're not gonna check that, but you're gonna check Trey Songz for peeing on people. Like,
I get that. And that's part of it, but it's not all of it. Like, my thing is that in the situation with Trey Songz, there are women that are openly defending Trey Songz as well. There are women that are openly saying that Trey wouldn't do that because the fact is he can get any bitch he wants type shit. There are women that openly say that. So it isn't just simply just due to the fact is that it's the sex of the person that simply denotes whether or not we react a certain way. It's based upon the global response and the way people react. It's just that niggas, well, guys, we tend to be a lot more vocalized with the shit that we say. We're open to go ahead and just say whatever fuck we want to say without any idea or any consequence of what the thing we're saying, so to speak. Women, they're a bit more calculated. They're a little bit more smarter in that capacity where they may not openly say the shit, but they are definitely thinking it. And there are still women who are all equally saying the same things.
They're in
Now,
entanglements.
Now, once again, this is not a personal attack towards women. It's not something that is saying that, hey, you can't sit there and get mad because the fact is women do the same thing. But I think that we need to go ahead and restructure the way that we approach things, because the way that we're addressing it right now isn't moving the needle, so to speak. And my last point on this, if he want to piss on somebody and they okay with getting pissed on, fuck it. He can piss on them. Why would we put a taboo on people pissing on people?
Golden shower.
I just don't understand that. We are okay with people posting scat videos and I'm shitting and sending to people, but we draw the line of people getting pissed
girls
on.
in one cup, man. That shit scarred me.
Come on, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
you know
man.
that part. That part of Boondocks just came up in my head when Riley was like, "Oh, Kelly pissing, I move." I see it. I forgot how it go, but that shit was no funny.
But yeah, I'm not sitting there and minimizing. No, I'm not trying to minimize these people's experiences, because obviously, what Kiki was talking about obviously was something that obviously affected her. She felt that she needed to vocalize it, and obviously, the people that were in positions to go ahead and do something about it should have done something about it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, yes, we have the ability as people, the ones that spectate shit, we have the ability to go ahead and vocalize our opinion on shit, and that may pressure individuals to go ahead and take action. But you can't get fault and get mad at the mob for not doing the job of the people that should be investigating it. You see what I'm trying to say? We can't get mad at the people for not doing shit when the cops didn't do their job, or so to speak, in this situation.
Hey,
but
man,
yeah, that's just my point.
They keep it simple from all them fucking words. If y'all gonna keep bringing up what happened in the past, we're never gonna have a bright future. We just gotta sit there, buckle down, and support who says what, look into whatever. Because if we don't sit there and buckle up and look into who said whatever, it's always gonna be the same cycle. Well, this happened and this didn't happen. This happened and this didn't happen. If this happened and we attack it, now from now on, boom, that happened. We gonna attack it. That happened. It shouldn't be because this certain person or that certain person or this skin color or this race. Nah, if you attack it when it happens, it's going to get fixed. But if you wait until y'all want to just comment on certain shit and then defend a certain person, now it's a back and forth when you don't even really know the story, it just sounds ridiculous. Like, and just hold everybody accountable for what it is. Innocent to proven guilty. You find them guilty, done deal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's simple shit. It ain't no back and forth. Like, if you wrong, just say you wrong. If you want to argue about how you right, even though a video shows you wrong, then you need to go to therapy.
Take it with your mama type shit.
You need to go to a psych eval at that point. Like, we see you.
And
that's what I got.
Separate from the Keke Palmer Trey Songz situation, I just hate nowadays there is no bedroom privacy. Like, the John didn't have to sit up here and be like, "Oh yeah, Trey Songz pissed on me." Like, what you do in the bedroom, like your sexual desires, your sexual fantasies, that should be a private thing. You feel me? Like, if Trey Songz,
I think, like they said, they clout chasers though, so they
want
people to know what they doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she giving neck to she had sex or gave neck to 7 of the basketball players.
She said she wanted. She was flirting with the Adam 22 guy. Said she want him to shit on her and like have a threesome.
Yeah,
like they're females that gross. Like I don't even know why songs is dealing with a shit like this, but you know how that go.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I will say is that, and this may like throw a wrench in what I was saying earlier. Although they clout chasers, they still have the ability to be respected as individuals, as a person. So I understand the fact is that they do actions in order to go ahead and get a reaction. But at the end of the day, they still should be respected as people. So if something does happen that they are not comfortable with, they should have every right to go ahead and speak on that. The same way that if you see a porn star, in an airport, we shouldn't assume that you can whip your dick out.
Chill.
Those not shots. Those not shots.
You
But
throwing hella shots. What
I'm
you
using it as an example. Did you do this? Like I said, if you see a porn star at the airport, you can't automatically assume you can whip your dick out and put it in their face type shit.
No.
That's something completely different. If you want to shoot the shot, that's different. You can shoot that shot. If she denies it, then that's on you.
Just because I dress like this does not make me a whore.
Yeah, but
my
you feel me?
boy sat there and was just generalizing a statement, and this nigga felt attacked.
No, I understand why. I understand why, because I did use his experience as an example. I can understand why. You're not crazy, but I wasn't using that as a target towards you. I'm just saying an example.
Jeepers, creepers.
The hell?
What's the next topic? I gotta tainted this woman segment. Yeah, what's the next topic, man?
But yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of women, I'm not too sure if this is recent due to recent pressure that has emerged about the situation that occurred between Meg and Tory. She has recently revealed the photo of the gunshot wound that she suffered due to that incident that occurred. We still, sadly, we aren't fully aware of what happened. We are under the assumption that Tory Lanez shot her. But ultimately, due to the court of public opinion and people applying the pressure on Meg, she felt that she needed to go ahead and essentially vindicate herself by showing that, hey, I was actually physically assaulted and shot. Like, this is something that happened. It wasn't something that I lied about. And I feel bad because she shouldn't have to go through that. She shouldn't have to go ahead and prove shit. If shit happened, then it should be at that. It shouldn't be on her to go ahead and prove, hey, I already got shot. Like, it's fucked up that she had to go through that.
She was definitely pressured into showing the world her evidence of her being shot because she was spotted out in a strip club the other day with a couple other female friends and female rappers turning up with a bandage on her foot. And everybody was like, wow, why she out in the club dancing, doing that? She should be on bed rest. And
they never been to a predominantly white college because I be seeing the lacrosse women come out there. I mean, they field hockey come out there with their boots on at parties, one leg and they're stinging it up.
Oh shit! Yeah, so she got like
it ain't just PWI because we seen it at HBCU.
So I don't got that experience. I can only speak for myself. My bad.
Yeah, but they said she was so. Of course, you know the internet going. Oh my God, they couldn't wait for that to happen. She out in the club, so ultimately, like Kip said, she was pressured into showing the internet, the world, social media, period, how she really was hurt. They were saying that bandage was a prop. It wasn't what it was, and who knows that. It's probably not even her leg she posted. It could have been somebody else.
What the fuck?
Let me stop. But yeah, that's crazy. She was definitely traumatized by that situation, and for her to be put in that like predicament to like show the world her wounds, like come on now, it wasn't even necessary.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with you. Anybody else on that?
I think that scar, it was like, ugh. It was a little rough to look at, it was a little rough to look at. But again, I don't think she deserves to or needed to prove anything to anyone regarding her gunshot wound. I don't think she needed to prove, to put that out there in the world. You know what I mean? You don't see, when other rappers claim they got shot, they're not forced to put up pictures of their gunshot wounds, blase, blase. This may sound bad, but I still think Tory Lanez is not in the wrong here for some reason.
What?
Hear me out.
You gonna have to clear this up.
Smoking that.
I'm gonna let you finish that idea.
For some reason, because it's been like a month now and there's no real story on what went down.
I feel what you're saying, Dad.
I hear
if
you.
a nigga Chris Brown did that shit from day one when the Rihanna shit went down. That was from day one. There was no denying that whatsoever. This is a little bit more harder for me to accept. And again, Meg has the opportunity. Well, she would be classified. I don't know if she'd be classified as a snitch in this situation.
What?
If she told if he did it or not? Because like I'm this
conspiracy. I got conspiracy. What if Meg accidentally shot herself?
That's what I think happened, bro. That's exactly what I think happened. She was playing with the gun and shot herself in the foot.
Oh god, I ain't glad. Wait,
can we?
She cheddar bombed herself, bro.
I'm gonna leave that
Before
alone.
we get into those conspiracies, I just want to mention. I think Megan addressed it like. I think what she said. I don't know if y'all read her post under the thing. She was like, "I'm not gonna sit here and soak like the rest of y'all would. I want to go out here and enjoy myself." It was her birthday, right? Oh no, she's celebrating because
they went number one.
WAP went number one. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. WAP. Yeah.
WAP.
Nah, it's WAP. It's WAP.
It's WAP, right?
Yeah, you saying it right.
Everybody's saying it different ways. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But she was
Is he saying 5'2" or 5'2"? That's what I feel like right now.
But I'm just saying, like, she got a point. Like, if there's a chair, she can come party. If you sit in the chair, what do you do at a strip club? You sit down. Like, it's not like she was standing the whole party. I think what she said is, I wanted to go celebrate because our song went number one. And I'm not going to blame her for that. What, you going to sit in her house and sulk the whole time? Nah, let her go out. If she feels like she is capable of going out, let her go out and enjoy herself. Like, what's wrong with that? I think, like you said, social media was just trying to find a way to mess with her. And they got to her enough where now it's like, ooh, we got Megan to show her gunshot wound. And I bet you they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming. Pause. They're going to keep going at her. And two, she releases more information before the case and whatever is opened up. I bet you they're going to get to her. And that's the whole point of what people do on social media. They get to you enough. They get to you. Once they see you respond, oh, we got to. Let's keep going. So I don't think she needed to do it. Exactly. I don't think she should have did it, but she gave a great explanation why she did it. And, hey, yo, Megan, throw a couple dollars for me because I don't got the dollars, but you got the dollars. So just throw it for me. Pretend like it's for Ty. All right?
That's crazy.
That nigga's crazy. Nah, I definitely hear y'all points on that, except for you out. I ain't gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I definitely hear what y'all saying though. I think that T.Y., you had a very valid point about what you said. I think that she let the internet trolls get to her on that, and I'm sorry that she had to go ahead and explain herself because it's crazy. If, for example, when Weezy got shot back in what was that, 2008, 2009, whatever the case may be, when he got shot and drove himself to the fucking hospital and shit. If he was to be out and about in the club, we wouldn't fucking really be asking questions about it. I think it's sadly, I'm sorry to say it, it really is. I think it has everything to do with her gender and her being a female, that people think that this is fake. I don't think that people are taking this serious enough. That she obviously, well, not she was obviously, but she was put in a situation where, she was assaulted, she was shot. This happened. Like, I don't think there's any reason for her to lie. She gains nothing from lying. And I think that she sadly is caught in the rock and the hard place because the fact is if she does snitch, she gets that black stigma as being a snitch. If she don't say anything, then, people don't believe her. So I think she's really stuck between a rock and a hard place in the situation. I just hope that, we as people, but I have to go ahead and put it on us, we as black people can go ahead and start taking women seriously in situations, and we find some type of level ground in the situation. We try to go ahead and really try to defend our black queens, as they would put it.
I mean,
if I'm rich, I don't owe y'all niggas no explanation. Fuck y'all.
This may sound rude, but how are we supposed to take her seriously when the story keeps changing, bro? She's the one who said she stepped in glass the first time, I believe. It was her.
I think it was people that was putting it out there that were saying.
It was people. It was people trolling.
It wasn't her who said that. She said it from day one. She said it shortly afterwards that she said that she was shot immediately. She did at first the statement came out that she was. So I don't think that she ever said anything about stepping in glass. I think that was it could you could make the argument that it was Tori's camp that said that she stepped in fucking glass. So they said that she didn't get shot.
Don't put that on my man. Don't say his.
Hey
camp.
man, we got
Don't
to
put his
stand
camp.
and
It
look
was
at it from both sides.
it was more her camp in that car than his camp. They go just him.
Hey, it don't matter if you got a gun in your hand, right? It don't matter if you got
who had the gun. Who had the gun?
Allegedly, Tori did.
Did they check her hand for gunpowder?
How
He said gunpowder. Yo,
I'm this
wrap it up.
I rest my case.
It's crazy.
how long do y'all think like Tori's gonna like resurface from like speaking out, even though he probably can't right now?
Yo, quick question. I just realized a very valid point, Nas. Has Tori said he didn't shot him?
He hasn't said anything.
He hasn't said he
it
did.
happened.
But he
I
hasn't
think
said
I
he did.
I was about to say both of them hasn't really said what happened. Like she's alluding to stuff, and he's not saying nothing. And you know how it goes. Like the person that speaks can create the narrative. I don't know. I'm not on their side. I don't know what the fuck you say. But yo, bro, I usually join your side.
But what did I say? I just said we don't really know if Tori did it. That's all I said.
Yeah, we don't. You're
Right,
right about
yeah,
that.
we
You're
know.
right. You're right about that.
Y'all making me seem like I'm saying some wild shit. We don't know who shot her.
You did kind of allude that it could be possible, and you believe that she shot herself.
Troy said that too.
He said it was possible she could have shot herself.
Yeah.
Chill out, Snoop. Chill out, Snoop.
You heard it, right?
Troy said it's a possibility that she shot herself too.
Timestamp
I
that.
said that.
You said it's a conspiracy. Yes, you did. I'm gonna keep it in here for you too.
My man said timestamp that. Yeah, you know how
my man on too much patrol right now. He don't know what he said.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna side with T-Wall on that one. I think he said more so that he understood your aspect as far as she could have possibly shot herself. He never said.
I never confirmed nor
He never
denied.
said. He never
Nigga, I didn't confirm you. I said it's a possibility.
Nah, you said you felt that she did.
Oh yeah, I do. I do.
So
either she shot herself or her female friend shot her.
No,
so you think that Tori has no skin in the game?
I'm not saying that. But if he did, that nigga be in jail right now.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Niggas ain't gonna get off that easy with someone getting shot in the car and you having unlicensed weapon. So
I think that honestly, this is my honest opinion. That's why I really think that would happen. I think Tori actually did shoot her. I think that she's not saying anything because the fact is Tori could go to jail for some time because the fact is, if I'm not mistaken, he has a pending gun charge or he had a gun charge last year.
When they found all those guns,
exactly.
He posted on Snapchat.
So I think that is part of the reason why she hasn't said anything. And I think as long as nobody says anything, then nothing can really happen. There's going to be charged with whatever reckless, whatever shit may be. I think at that point, it's just whatever happens. They're going to just let the shit just slide. So I think that's part of the reason why she hasn't said anything. Because the fact is, if he does get caught with this, he's going down for some time, if I'm not mistaken. So that's that on that. But shifting gears, we're going to stick with Meg, and we're going to give people their flowers. Not only did, WAP or WAP? WAP?
It's a WAP.
WAP. Wet ass pussy. Not only did wet ass pussy go number one on the billboards, I'm gonna stick with that. Cardi and Meg have now also done a donation of $1 million to women's empowerment. So I think that's definitely
respected 100%.
So I'm sorry. Before we go,
DeMarco.
Before we continue on with that, so I just read another article on this whole Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh my God. This nigga's crazy. Go ahead.
You're on the island, buddy.
Another update. So she said now her back was to the vehicle, to the SUV when she was shot in the hill. So now she don't know who shot her in the foot.
That could play. But that could play.
No, she did say that.
No, she never said that at first. She didn't say that initially.
Go look at her response.
I'm looking it up right now. They said her original
No, I said look at her response on Instagram, the one I've been quoting all day today.
Which one was
that?
If
you look at that, the one where her foot is off with the bandage, she said I was having a good time. I got shot in the back of the heel because people were saying we only see the gunshot wounds or whatever. And she said I got shot in the back of the heel. Go look, it's on that Instagram post.
Yeah, that's recent though. That's recent.
That could also
That's
be
all
playing
I've been quoting.
But they said before it was a shot went off in the car. What happened to that whole story?
But that could also be playing to the narrative of protecting him, because the fact is ultimately, if your back is turned, you can't tell who shot you. It could be very well that's going to be protecting the narrative.
It's a friend. It's the female.
No,
that boy Kip sound like Chris Tucker.
But that's just what I'm saying. That's another. This is another case where the story is changing because that was not the original.
But that's
case.
what happens as you go along with a case. If you're trying to go ahead and, so to speak, control the narrative, your story is going to alter to go ahead and make the result the way you want to make the result to be. So essentially, at this point, she got shot. Cool. We all know she got shot. Now they're going to ask her, who shot you? If you are in a position where you could possibly put somebody in jail, and let's suppose that some situation happened, he shot her, and she don't want him to go to jail. I got shot. My back was turned. I couldn't see it. So therefore, I can't really help you out outside of me getting shot. Everybody goes away, goes home. She probably ain't gonna fuck with him no more. But at the end of the day, she didn't put him in a position that he's going to jail for some time. I think that's honestly what is going on in the situation. But I could be 1,000% wrong. It could be like you said. She could have shot herself in the fucking foot. She could have been fucking around with the gun in the car or out in the street, shot herself in the foot. But I think that
my pinky toe.
Let's stick around with what we're doing as far as giving these flowers out, though. In regards to the whole fact is that Meg and Cardi are now donating that $1 million. I really do appreciate that, even though I'm not a woman. But I do love that idea because the fact is Cardi has been very vocal about this for like the past 3 years, I think, since her album dropped. She's been vocal about women's empowerment, not only women's empowerment, but minorities having a voice, so to speak. So she's gone from minorities to women. She's going ahead and she's breaking it down to a cellular level, if you may speak, if you may take it as such, to go ahead and make a difference, because she's been vocal about the presidential campaign and voting for offices that are localized. So I really do appreciate Cardi as a person because there are not many artists that do that. And she's really verbally putting the money where her mouth is, essentially, so to speak. And where that's pussy slap. So that's what I want to put it at. Yeah, go ahead and take it away.
WAP.
Now, I'm glad that they're donating. I'm glad that they're putting money. You know what? And I was just thinking about this. I was thinking about donating in general. But since they're on it, I love the fact, if I'm not mistaken, they are donating personally to people, right? Am I wrong about that? I think like they were saying, as long as you tell your story about whatever happened, we are going to donate. And then people have been taking pictures of their Cash App and showing that they got the money or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but that's dope if they're really doing that.
I like that more than donating just to a
nonprofit.
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with donating with a nonprofit, but sometimes it's better to make sure your money gets to the right place. Because sometimes you don't know if your money's getting to the right place. So I like the fact that they are actually making sure that money is getting to the right place.
No, I definitely agree with that. That's actually a very valid point. That their money's getting to where they feel the money should be. It's making sure that the changes that you're trying to go ahead and see are actually coming to fruition, so to speak. Because like you said, just because you're doing it to nonprofit, that money can go to the wayside and never get to that person or get to those people. But yeah. Anybody else?
What I'm saying, if nobody want to talk positive, y'all was all over.
All the fashion, but y'all talk about women on a positive note.
First of all, y'all not gonna talk to me like that.
First of all, I was the first one I went. What are you talking
lower your tone.
Yeah,
we love to see it. This is great.
To shoot you on the back of your foot now.
Show some enthusiasm.
Crazy, but this shit is super fire. Like you said, definitely getting to the right people or the people that they deem should get it type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely very a powerful moment that even though all the bad narratives of the song and people judging them for making a modern day song like in the 90s when it was just a whole bunch of nasty stuff and the Ying Twins was whispering in our ear, all that backlash, and he's still doing something positive with it, which is, to me, I think that's amazing.
It's a great thing that they're doing. Definitely
Amazing.
able to help someone in not the best situations or that overcome certain situations. So, kudos.
Listen, they got it.
Right.
Expand it. Give it away. Give it to the beautiful women of the world. Why not?
See, and you see how that works right there, right? So we just talk about, people on the internet pressing people to make them show things that they don't want to show. It was only me and Kent pressing y'all, and y'all said y'all done gave up the whole world now. Now y'all ready to talk and all that. So I just want to go back on supporting Megan. She didn't have to show that. All right. I'm on the. Everybody know I'm gonna be hottie. If you've been listening, you know I'm gonna be hottie. So I'm supporting Megan. All right. I don't want to talk down on Tory, but
I could say some more things on Megan, but I'm not going to right now.
Yikes.
Yo, don't talk about.
I can.
Bro.
All right, let's get out of here.
I
This guy,
can.
When those
this
girls be
misogynistic
talking,
woman
they be
hater
talking
over here.
about you. Yeah, when those girls be talking, they be talking about you.
That's all right. I can take that. I mean, I just gotta see the right and wrong in everybody. I can't just be
I feel you can't be biased.
picking and choosing shit because I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
What the hell?
Let's just end it there.
Let me not kill myself on that one.
What we got? Next topic. What we got? Where we at?
Okay, so before we go ahead and go, if anybody has any questions of the day being asked,
I
what do
do.
y'all? I want to ask y'all a quick question. What y'all predictions for this upcoming game that's about to start?
The Lakers and Blazers.
Yeah, facts. Yo, y'all wanna do another you end this and then watch the game together, like buddies?
That wasn't even a question though. Who do you think is going to win, my guy? Then we could talk about.
I mean,
that.
I just want to hang with my.
I got the Blazers meeting the spread of +6 tonight.
I'll be on the game with you, Troy. Don't worry about it. You got what you got. You got your Xbox app. We can be on there.
Adam Sandler.
I think the Portland Blazers are going to take game 2, game 1 and 3.
By Melo? Melo game winning 3?
Oh no! I think it's gonna be a good one. I think LeBron and them gonna come out a little bit more smarter and stronger. And he had KCP and Danny Granger late night shooting in the gym so they could get their shit right.
I might say who's
I
Granger?
said Danny Green.
Danny Granger.
He's gonna be on the Pacers.
Yeah, that used to be PG.
Yeah, I brought it back. Yeah,
I forgot about that nigga. He left the face of the earth.
Nah, no, who left the face of the earth? What's his name? Hibbert.
Oh, he's on the Lakers last time I checked, but that was like years ago. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
I'm going with the Lakers in this situation. I think the Lakers are going to take it. The reason being, I think that the Lakers are going to retool what they did wrong. I think that they absolutely shot way too many threes and they missed all those threes. I think the game could have been a lot different if they made 4 or 5 of those threes at crucial points. The Blazers did their thing, but I don't think that the Lakers is going to go ahead and go into that sweet good night at this point yet. I think that they're going to come out really aggressively. LeBron not going to try to get that mark on his career as getting swept in the first round or losing in the first round. So I think that I think that they're going to definitely take this. From a wake-up call. Any questions of the day before we go ahead and shift off?
I got one.
Let's hear it.
So, do you guys think not only does the Earth spin, but also slightly rotates?
Huh? Is that the same thing?
Yes,
No.
yes, bro. No, I know what you're saying. Yes,
Not just spin like a 360 spin, but also like flip, like it rotates.
Rotates and flips up. Also rotates on both sides.
Then, like it's spinning, but it's also slightly like turning. Does that make sense?
Flipping upside,
bro. It revolves and it rotates.
Thank you.
Well, those two different things. You know that, right? Revolve and rotate.
Yes, it revolves around the sun. Excuse me. It revolves around the sun and it rotates on its axis, bro.
Well, I think so. When you say flips, you're referring to
so the Earth already spins, correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right, but But I think it also, like, north ends up south, is what I'm saying. But slowly but surely.
I don't know if I don't believe it does. That's the reason why it's called north and south. I know that in space there's no really north and south. There's no orientation of up and down. So it's not really up and down. But it doesn't flip like
Oh
over.
yeah, that's what I meant. Flip.
Like the best way to put it is like it doesn't flip over the X and Y axis and flip over and over and over again. I think that would mess up the rotation around the sun if it was to be flipping, because that means that it would be rotating. It would be moving in 3 separate directions. It would be rotating around the sun, rotating itself, and then flipping up and down. I think that wouldn't be. That's more of an orientation of an asteroid where it rotates a little bit in different orientation. Nah, I don't think it does that. I think it just rotates around itself and around the sun. I think that, and also that's a lot less likely because the fact is it has the gravity of the sun is what's locking it in place and making it rotate in only those directions. But go ahead, my fault.
Are you sure? Because then while Pluto lost track.
Pluto lost track. What are you referring to? I'm sorry.
Because they don't count it as a planet no more. It does whatever it wants, but it's still locked into the sun.
No, the reason why that is not so much as that
because it doesn't have the characteristics of a full-on planet.
No, I thought it was more so because the fact is that they deemed that the orientation of its rotation was more so around what planet is that? Is that Neptune, Uranus, whatever planet it is? They felt that the rotation was more so around that planet as opposed to around the sun. So they deemed it as a planetoid rather than a planet. I think that's what it was. I don't know. But I think that's what it was. Not so much as that it was because it was rotating that way or if it's not rotating correctly. It's more so that it's just rotating around more so around the planet rather than actual the sun, so to speak. But I could be wrong.
I'm just saying. I know humans do a lot of dumb shit on the Earth, and they, break the capsules, the ice capsules, and the atmosphere, put holes in it and shit like that. But it's like it's starting to snow in Atlanta. It's getting hotter in other places. Antarctica has been melting for years. The other places are getting colder. I'm just saying, it don't sound like a far-off idea. That was all. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
that's because of the ozone layer, bro.
Temperature inversions is happening.
No place is really getting too much hotter. They're mostly getting colder because of the ozone layer.
Nah, this place is getting hotter.
Antarctica is melting.
Wait, did I say that? Did I say that backwards?
You probably did.
Nah, you didn't say it backwards.
Places are getting hotter.
Yeah, nobody's really getting colder.
Hotter.
Yeah, nobody's getting colder. Everybody's getting
hotter. I'm about to say what?
Backwards. My bad.
But yeah, it's getting hotter everywhere. And if I'm not mistaken, they recorded the hottest temperature since like 1903 or 18 something. The highest temperature since that in Death Valley. So it's actually getting very hot at this point.
So are you think it's really the ozone, or are they scared to say that they're pulling us, that the sun is really pulling us in?
Nah, I think it's the ozone layer. I think the fact is that we need the ozone layer, and we're fucking up the atmosphere at this point. You gotta think about it. The population isn't going down at this point. It's going up. And the more and more people that get older, the more people are gonna start driving.
I hear what you're saying, but I ain't never fly. I ain't never feel the difference of the ozone layers. All I'm saying is, it's always a theory. You never know. They could tell me what they want.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we got our own ideas. At the end of the day, we only go ahead and hear what people say and formulate our own opinions on it, or agree or disagree. That's quite true.
Exactly. So let me take off my tin hat. I'm hungry. And that's a good episode of Faded and X-Rated. Talk with you soon.